That better not mean Hecky's in it, DBZ.
Yo, hi, what up, guys? We're back again. We're back again with a video. Like I wasn't planning on doing a video this week because I was waiting for the chapters to stack up and like do discussions on like a number of chapters all together. But then Jonkins brought up idea of doing like a top 20 generals list, and I was like, I bet.
We also found out your Thomas army is trash, so we couldn't miss on the opportunity to pick on
Yeah,
Twilight.
like, it was like perfect coincidence. I didn't know what this chapter entailed when I fucking decided to make the stream, but then the chapter adds to the flavor, you know. All right, so first off, we're gonna talk about the chapter because we have like a Hecky fanboy and a Hecky hater or some shit like that in here.
Oh
I have,
God.
like,
Recipe for cancer.
yeah, they have a personal bet going on. And after that, like once we like had our fucking fun talking about the chapter, we're gonna jump into our top 20 list. And then when we get to that, I'll explain the order of things.
All
All
right,
right,
so
so
let's start this. I want to ask Twale, how impressive do you think Hecky was this chapter?
all right.
No, because that's what I was about to say. If you watch my live reaction, I was with Hecky. Nothing but praise. Apparently he's the only one. He's the one making the most leeway. Cool. I give him that. Like I said to DBZ before, I hope he doesn't fall into a trap. You know what I'm saying? I'm praying for the nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm praying for him. OD. But if we look at Hecky's track record, he's more likely to fall into a trap than to actually win the 1v1. You feel me?
I mean, I think it's obvious he's gonna fall for the trap. What about you
So
guys?
that's why I'm hoping. That's why I just hope that he doesn't fall for the trap. Now, I would more like to like solidify the stipulations for our bet because I feel like the stipulations are just too up in the air.
This is the thing. Like, there was no stipulations because when we made that bet, no one had any faith in Hecky. That's why there was no stipulations. There was no like what ifs
That's what
or
I'm saying.
nothing like that.
What exactly was the bet? Hecky would do good or Hecky would be good?
I
From what
believe,
remember, it
if
was
I
that
recall,
if Hecky did like something major, like something really big that helped him win the war, then DBZ automatically wins.
yes.
Yeah, that's what I remember as well. It was just like
Something major to help them win the war.
yeah,
Okay,
something
no problem.
significant.
He would have some sort of impact, positive impact on the war.
So that's what I'm saying before. So if he does something to negatively impact the war twice, do you not already lose? And he was like, no, because there's still more time.
Think
And I'm like,
because-
yo, like, even when Shin fuck up, he got to do something crazy to overcome that fuck up. You know what
But
I'm saying?
we also got to remember that this is just a battle. Like the whole bet was for the war. So let's say Hecky messes up this whole battle and they lose this battle, but if he comes back later and it helps them win the war,
God.
I would still say that was a bet win.
Yeah, so for me, like we all thought Hecky was gonna do shit like it's Hecky's gig, you know, he always fucks up. But then DBZ is the one like advocating he's gonna do something like good, and I wasn't thinking that was gonna happen. At least from what I remember. And I think you and Donkins didn't think that as well.
I mean,
Jonkins said there was no chance. he was like, when I was like, you want to get on this bet, Jonkins? He was like, yo, man, you don't even have to lose.
Bro, I remember.
Easiest bet of my life.
I remember Twilight was like, I bet 2 months. I was like, yo,
Facts. I still bet
I was
2
like
months of
kinda
that
cautious
fucking
about that
Hecky
shit.
picture that he won't be as impactful as you think he will.
Oh man,
alright,
that was a great.
you
When I
gotta-
read this chapter this morning,
Back to the Bunin thing. I think it's pretty obvious that he's gonna do something because right when Hecky got this like promotion, like when you're gonna fight the three brothers, like we already knew this is like some crazy shit. We're like, how's Hecky gonna do this? This is too much for him. So if he just like steamrolls through this guy, it wouldn't really make any sense to me.
yeah, it wouldn't.
I mean, I feel like yeah, it's obvious. Like talking to people, it became obvious to me that it's gonna fall into a trap. I don't know, it might have just been me when I was reading it. It just came off as fucking when Hecky was like, I'm gonna go after him, I'm gonna charge at him. That's when he said, this guy's an idiot. I thought he was just being cocky and saying, this guy actually wants to try me like a martial might bout. What an idiot. That's what I took it as. But then
People remember the Olsen panel and they're like, oh shit, he's about to like mentally.
yeah,
fuck up.
yeah.
It's gonna be
What
bad.
happened?
I said people remember the Olsen panel. Remember when like Ordo was like trying to flank and go past, and also just like comes up from behind. He's like, "What an idiot!"
Yeah.
People like fucking just compared it to that moment. They're
Yeah, I don't think this guy was
Heki
cunning
will
as
pull it, listen.
at all, bro. I think that, like, yes, like, people are trying to discredit Heki by saying that it was all intentional that was making games, but then I want to, like, say that even though it might have been, like, as people, I was discussing it today as well, like, it might have been, like, a backup plan. Hey, if he gets this far, we're just going to fuck him up. But then they're not going to just let him get that far. You know, if they could stop him earlier on, they would try. You've seen in the first time they fought, he put up all the hot big guns against him, all the cavalry, and he was not expecting Heki to stop him like that. So
Well, he was underestimating Heki at first, but you could argue that he thought Heki was trash at the beginning. He tried to like quickly deal with him, and then Heki proved him wrong. And then he's like, "All right, like you're gonna show that, then I'm gonna
But
just."
that was
kill you."
that was
I
the
don't- I don't
best thing
think- I
Heki did.
yeah,
But think about it. Heki only did that after what, 8 days of getting his ass whooped, after the Yotan was speech. You know what I'm saying? After basically losing half of your men. I'm assuming 2,000 of those were the reserves from Conky, so he gonna
Yeah.
have beef with
He got rid
Conky.
of all Conky's men.
You know what I'm saying?
I know he
Like,
loves Conkeys, man. I don't think they're gonna follow him in a fucking dumbass suicide mission, bro.
either way. So either he lost all of Conky's men, or he has 2,000 out of his 5,000 that don't really listen to him. Either way,
You're
it's
right.
not looking good for your boy. He needs to pull the W out of his ass, like dead ass though.
What I think is gonna
Because,
happen
like-
is that. Oh, go ahead, DBZ.
Well, like, I think it's like obvious that it's some kind of ploy or some kind of trap or whatever, because it is a little too easy, it seems. Especially when even Baijo's group was struggling, and they're supposed to be like the elites.
Don't sleep
yeah,
on
that
Heki
was
though.
awesome.
What do you mean?
I'm not sleeping on Heki.
Your tongue was already
But I
just that trash.
Oh, here we go.
Heki's
Here we
That's
That's
fucking
facts, though.
go.
That's facts, man.
The reason
Heki
why
over
I'm
all
so
your Thomas
confident-
Commanders.
the reason why I'm so confident in Heki is because he has to win. This is not like he can win or he might win. He has to win.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Giantano is screwed. That's why I'm so confident Heki will deliver.
I have the same reasoning. Yeah, I feel like, as you said, the
Like,
situation is so
it's so much-
fucked.
Come on.
Pretty much.
You have more faith in Heki than Baggio?
I never said that.
I mean, what do you mean? This chapter just showed he's a better commander. What do you mean? Like, he's the
Wait,
one.
Draco, did you say that?
After this chapter, I don't know.
No, he's
Oh, come on.
I mean, it's been shown that that Torque, the brother that he's fighting, is significantly stronger than the other two.
I mean,
That's headcanon.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
I'm
can't
just
really
kidding.
say that when we haven't seen the fight.
Nah, but we've seen him fight Baggio, and they was like, yo, when he fought Baggio, they was like, yo, he's keeping up with Big Brother, like significant, like signifying that he's
I get that.
stronger than those two. Like
I would agree.
Rozo's probably the strongest.
I don't think it's significant.
Here we go. What's up with
Clearly
the
stronger. He's
Oh.
clearly stronger. He's clearly stronger. You're right.
Like,
I think
I'm niggas is saying Heki has this is the shit I can't take, son. It's not that I don't like Heki. It's when people say shit like Heki's better than Moten or Heki's better than Baggio, and it's like, yo,
Wait,
are y'all for
I'm
real?
saying that.
Like,
Wait, yo,
there's
Paulette,
plenty of
Paulette.
people.
Paula,
Come
you
on now.
can't deny though. Like, they just gave him significant portrayal this chapter of the other two struggling, and this man is the sole reason the whole army got momentum and shit. Man, he's fucking going through him like they said he has. the
But
most
he's
advanced-
also, but it could also be stating that he's fighting what can be possibly stated the weakest opponent, someone that would just kill their own men for the smallest reason.
That's maybe
so-
that's just your bias against Heki, man. I'm just saying it.
Yeah, man.
That's not
Hekai
my
is
bias
right there.
against Heki. That's what was shown in the manga. The nigga literally said, kill anybody that returns.
Now that's
Like-
just how savage he is, man.
See?
I got so many strong people in his army that he can spare a couple people dying. You know, I just
Right. And that's why he spared a couple people dying to lead Heki into a trap. For the third time. For the
Yeah.
third
So
time.
maybe-
Understand that.
What if Joggins was on to something? What if Heki pulls the Usain and he's actually like, oh, you thought you got me in a trap, but I actually
That's
have
what
you
I'm
in a
saying.
trap.
I wasn't saying Heki was gonna
There
pull
we
it.
go. There we go again. Heki pulls an Osen. Are people serious?
Nah, bro. Look at this, right? You know, I'll tell you what's gonna happen, right? He gets to flash back to Senyu after like years after that battle. He kept contemplating what happened there, and he realized Osen used him as bait, right? And then he was like, "I bet I'm gonna use myself as bait, the ultimate bait.
yeah.
Act like I'm getting trapped. Already tell the mirror tribe to flank Crown when the guy comes and tries to trap me. and then take the fucking guy's head.
First of all, he
Yo,
didn't tell them to
Heki's
do that.
calculations,
Just
bro.
like Akko, he
Not
learned
tell
how to
them
use
to do that. They
Usum's
were going to
tactics.
do it on their
Yeah,
own. Like,
exactly, man. He was like Usyk was right. I am perfect bait, my nigga.
I mean, I pretty much have the same prediction.
now can you understand my frustration with the community right now? Because this is not just DBZ. I find this on like every forum, every Discord. There's at least one Hecky fanboy just talking recklessness.
It's just funny to
Look,
troll.
I think honestly, I think I'm the most reasonable Heki fanboy ever.
Oh, get the fuck out.
You try to defend me by creeping on a little chick. What do you mean?
Yeah,
man?
you're defending pedophilia because it was back then, man. It
Look,
doesn't matter.
It's back then. It doesn't matter.
No.
Okay, you guys are thinking from a modern lens. You can't think that way with these characters living in
Shut up.
like the
dude.
past.
I'm just
It just
saying,
doesn't work.
the same Hecky that drew inspiration from fucking what was his name, Hyo and Shin. The nigga was looking at both of them like they were great generals. Like, come on, bro.
Yo,
I can't accept that shit. I really can't. We see no other top tier look at Shin like he was the GOAT. Come on.
you see how Akko's looking at shit and run? Ohan, like, yeah. What do you
Are
mean?
you for real?
I don't know about Gaku, man. Gaku was looking
Let's
at
just get
like,
to the top
oh,
20.
No,
Fuck it. Let's just get to the top 20.
I was agreeing with you. I was like, he's not
Wait,
looking
you're-
at him like that. That's how you know he's a top. He's that nigga. You know.
Let's talk a bit about the first half of the chapter, mostly like the Hoken thing, because people
Oh.
were saying that. this
oh
panel, like,
man,
showed
that was so hype.
Bro.
They're saying this panel showed that Shin had like an Oki level strike. I don't really know where they got that from.
Bro, like,
I don't
Hoki
understand
felt.
how fucking Hogan felt that shit, bro. What do you mean?
Listen. It's
Yeah, that
the
is-
war god. Remember, he's a Bushin, so he has something spiritual going on with him. That's how he was able to feel like the city holding out against Raboku and certain, like, he can feel that shit because of whatever, like, spiritual connection he has, kind of like
Yeah.
Kyokai. You know what I'm saying? How Kyokai feels it through her sword. He just feels that shit through the air, I guess.
Alright.
But when he felt, he felt my nigga aura. He was like, yo, what was that? The heavens are disturbed type shit. Like, yo, he's red. Son, he's gonna come. You know what? Hogan might come through to the battlefield and fuck up everything Raboku got going on.
I feel like
Yes,
he's
he
gonna
might.
fight. He's gonna fight like the Zao style, like Bananji or Gyoen, just because like he doesn't know who's who.
No, not even that. Because Hogan's gonna go there, right? And he's gonna be like, yo, fuck strategy, fuck plan. Yo, where's Shin? I know he's here.
Yeah,
I know the young buck is here. Tell me where he's at. And Roboku's gonna be like, yo, chill, like you the trump card, my nigga. I don't need you right now. We kind of winning. Like, I only use you when we losing. Like, chill. He's like, nah. And then Hogan gonna go find Shin. He's gonna lose, and it's gonna like break like Zao's whole morale. Like everything's gonna shift once they see Shin beat Hogan.
This
Wait, you really think Hogan's gonna lose to Shin like this early on?
Bro, think about it like this, son. With a rage boost, Shin was able to damage him after being severely wounded. 7 days fighting on side, 14 days fighting on the front lines of the coalition, and was still able to push this man back. With Oki's glaive, with the feeling, with the come on, my nigga. He was meditating mid-battle. He's ready. Like, let's
Wait, let
go.
me ask you this, Wally. Let me ask you
I
this.
think
You don't
like,
think Hogan
overpowered
has
him and
advanced
shit.
at all?
Oh, no, Hogan's trained, but Hogan still hasn't matured in like a general's weight. He still doesn't have that understanding. Shin is only adding, like having that glaive only adds to the weight because now not only do you
let
have
me
the
ask you
weight
this.
you've accumulated during your battles, but now you have the weight of OT behind every fucking swing. Yo, it's going down. I'm
Let me
calling
ask
it
you
now.
this. Let me ask you this. What if Hogan does? What if he does? What if he acquired that?
What, a general's weight?
Yes.
and at least
Then he would be. Then if Hogan acquired a general's weight, he would be out there with his troops. You know what I'm saying? Building bonds rather than in the forest doing the same old shit he's always been doing.
I feel like he's
developed at all.
yeah.
No, I'm not saying because I agree. I don't think it's very likely
but
that he acquired the weight. I'm just saying, what if?
Twale though, like
No, okay, no.
Better?
If he does have a general's weight, it'll be very small. Well, I can't say very small because he is a great general by rank. But it still wouldn't match up to my nigga Shin. Yo, fuck out of here. We taking names.
Yo. This morning I was thinking, like I don't know what purpose Hogan would serve. I feel like it would be a good time to kill him off, but I don't think Shin is strong enough to do that. And I feel like his story would be incomplete if he just dies with him being the same way he started. You know, I feel like it would
Nah,
be
that's the thing though.
have him
He's
like
gonna learn what a general's weight is while fighting Shin.
he dies, bro.
He dies. He's gonna have that. He's gonna have that recollection that what the fuck feeling like. Oh,
Is
so
that
that's
it?
what it.
Is
So
that
that's what it means to be a general. You know what I'm saying? That's how he's gonna die. Like Shin is gonna let him know, like, yo, I carry so much weight on my shoulders and this glaive in my hands. Like, you can't compare to me, young buck.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad if Hoken dies now. Like, I just don't want him. Like, I kind of just don't want him to join the battlefield. The battlefield is already nice in itself. He has enough hype. I don't want just added hype and distraction to other people and like Gyoen and Bananji, etc. You know, it's like how
That was one thing.
That's
That's the one thing I was thinking too. I was like, this war doesn't really need Hoken, and
Yeah,
if Hoken
exactly.
joins in, that means that like Zao is using like everything that they have.
And then
besides
they
Shiba
lose
Show.
though. It'll be bad as fuck for Roku and Zao,
It'll be bad. Like, will this
I'm
be the
just
end of
saying,
Zao?
the coalition didn't really need Hoken, but we still got the man.
I mean, it kind of did because like, what's his name? They lost. Like Roku's fucking original plan got fucked by all of Ken, so they had to go for that backup plan, which needed Hoken. You know, because if Hoken is not there, Roku's dying to Duke. You know.
Yeah, but Raboku wasn't planning on somebody being there to stop him. So Hoken being there wasn't to stop Duke. It was just Hoken being there.
But then Roku was cautious. He just knew that I need an extra layer of protection because he's doing something risky, you know. But then I get what you're saying. But this war right now, they have enormous advantage, right? They just took out Akko, and then they're routing the Shin and the Ohan and them for a full-scale retreat. And then to bring in Hoken, plus the numbers advantage they already have, that's just, and then they're going to lose? How's that going to look, bro? How you going to come back from that, man?
You don't. That's why this is going to be the start of the destruction of Zao.
Yeah, but I like it, like as like a, you know, respectable person as Roku is, you know, like he just takes L's now, man. Oh, DBZ just popped off. Damn, sucks.
Maybe his internet was fucking up. I don't know. But Twale, where do you think Shin goes from here after he kills Hoken, if he's strong enough to do it? Like, most of the opponents in China are pretty much like no match for him.
No, that's not true. Because while most people in China don't have Hoken's physical strength, they do have a general's weight. Like Gaimo, now that he's not rusty, now that he's back on the front lines after, 14 years of being in prison and shit, he will put up a way better fight, in my opinion, than Hoken would.
I mean, even though Shin has revenge weight against Hoken, so it's like a big boost he has versus Hoken and not versus Gaimo, I still think the martial might difference between Hoken and Gaimo is like still too big for like general weight or Shin's revenge weight to like make up for.
I know the stats ain't everything, but isn't Gaimo like a 98 in strength to like Hoken's 100?
He's like a 97.
97? Okay.
I don't know what happened, guys. I just lost connection. I'm back though.
All right, yeah, but I don't think. I think it's too. I would like it in a perfect world for fucking Hoken to die so we get rid of him, but then I just don't think it makes sense. Like in terms of the story.
Dang, you don't like
Honestly.
Hoken that much?
I mean, I don't.
I remember you saying, Twale, that Hoken can 1v2, but
That's what I was thinking right now, dude.
And I think Bananji and Gyoun can both give Gaimo a high div fight. They're like comparable to him.
Yeah.
See, but this is the difference. It's the circumstances behind the 1v1 with Shin that changes that scenario.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Like in my
Yeah.
head, I was thinking about it. Like
I just don't
this
think
man,
it's so personal.
this man just said Hoken mid dish fucking Gyoen and fucking Bananji, but then Shin beats him. Like Nani.
I didn't say Shin low dips him. I just said Shin wins.
Yeah, but then you're right. Do you think that Shin can beat Bananji and Gyoen at the same time right now with his
No.
glaive and weight and shit like
No.
that?
And that's what I'm saying. I don't think he could beat them 2v1 because it's, like I said, it's a difference in circumstances and emotions that you carry on the battlefield. Like,
But then, what about Hoken? Do you think Hoken can beat them like 2v1?
yeah, because Hogan's fucking
All
animal.
right. So what if? I just want you to repeat it. What if you think is gonna happen? Like 2v1, Hoken versus Bananji and Gyoen.
He's gonna repeat mid diff.
All right, mid diff. All right. So you think Hoken mid diff these two, but Shin can't beat him, but Shin can beat Hoken. How big of a jump is this man gonna get? Like he's going like Super Saiyan.
Basically, that's the difference
However
in
you
what you
want to
guys think
qualify
revenge
that
weight
jump at side, bro. Think about it like
I
this.
don't think that jump is Super Saiyan, man.
Shin was injured, exhausted, You know what I'm saying? Had went to multiple battlefields
had
and had
one
been
arm.
fighting nonstop. Hogan had a broken arm and still lost.
Stan was sleep. No, he's gonna kill
You know,
Hogan. He's
honestly-
gonna kill Shin. He's gonna kill Shin.
Honestly,
I
besides
wouldn't
the
say he
mid-div
lost.
part, I agree with Wally. I think like it makes sense for the themes of the story for Shin to be able to beat Hogan right now.
Yeah, I don't know about right now, but eventually, yeah. Like if he dies now, it will be fine. I don't understand how it's gonna happen. Like I don't know if it'll be fine. It won't sit well with me. I just have to like see how it goes down. You know.
I don't
Yeah.
know, man. I guess it's
Just
just
think
the difference
about
of
it.
how much we think revenge weight matters. Like,
Yeah.
it obviously matters. I just don't think it should be able
I don't
to
think it's that big. Yeah.
smash you.
It depends on what character it is. For Gakurai, it didn't mean shit. For Shin, it means the world.
It's like, what is this bullshit? Add
Yo.
revenge. Add revenge.
How did he fly that high though? Like, I was like, what?
Yo, that
Right?
was crazy.
It's not like I said, Shin was meditating on niggas, sending their body up to the heavens.
Yeah, speaking of that, like it was neat to see Shin instilling the fear of like just by killing their master, they couldn't do shit to him. I can't get close to this nigga, man. He's the real deal. I also was
Like,
the
you're
Hogan
next.
thing, like I heard people saying it in Discord and shit, and I also agree. Like if Hogan comes, like Yoan might survive this war, man. He might not have to fight Shin. I feel like the second that he went away to fight Gaku, I feel like hard like took that like storyline and like, you know what, fuck it. Let him fight Gaku and
See,
get
I
that
was
kid.
saying this earlier because before Hogan showed up, we said Shin pretty much needs to kill Gyoen so he gets like his martial feats, he improves in that area. But if
Yeah.
he gives like Hogan a good fight, or if he even kills him, that's better martial feats than killing Gyoen.
Mhm.
You know, he doesn't
Yeah, it's 100% it is, yeah. Unless
At
it's
the
Yoan is
same
Hogan
time,
level, but yeah.
Gyoen is still there and like stopping them from winning the war. So there's still.
I don't know how they're gonna deal with Gyoen if Hogan comes. Like, what the fuck? It's too much. It's ridiculous.
I don't know how they could beat the right wing without beating Gyoen. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
listen, Kyokai gonna step up. She's gonna take out Chogaryu.
Kyokai
Come
like
on.
was needed for fucking Gakui's troops, man. What do you mean? She Gyoen? Yo,
That's because they had that revenge weight going, and Kyokai's troops ain't crack. It ain't like top notch troops.
but then she was leading him as well too. Like,
Like
whole fucking
she's
march.
top notch, but like her men are not. Bro, like the men she leads are probably like one step above Bihei.
Chill, bro. They're the elite squad was cavalry and shit, man. I don't know about that.
I bet you Toile wasn't saying this before they got overpowered by Gakue. Anyways, do you guys want to move on to the list?
Yeah, I was thinking that
Yeah.
too. We talked about it enough. It wasn't like it was a good chapter. Like it was a good wrap up chapter. I like how he hard, like, you know, wrote it all out and shit. It had good pacing, but didn't not a lot happened. A lot was like recap to us, but like other than that, nothing much. All right, so the list we're gonna start from the top to bottom, and we're gonna do 5 at a time, starting with whoever, and then before we get to that, aren't you happy that CGR is the one chasing Shin? Because we were
Yeah.
saying that he has to be
I
like,
said that in my video too.
if this nigga doesn't do that shit, like he's trash. At least he did that. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna like start from top to bottom, 1 to 20, going 5 at a time. And if you want to add explanations or like have like a exception with someone's list placement, you can just blur it out and we could talk about it. So yeah, who wants to go? Who wants to start? I would start with DBZ.
Okay,
1 to
so
5.
we're starting at number 1, right? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So for number 1, I got Mobu.
What?
I put Mobu here mainly because of Jonkin. Not gonna lie.
Yo, what? His influence, bro. What the fuck?
I got influence, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Number 2, I got Renpa.
Let's hear the explanation, DBZ. I want to hear the greatness.
Oh god, we gonna
Like-
be here forever.
This is many conversations. Like the one. Which one was it? I think it was like Hogan versus Mobu, where he completely destroyed my argument for Hogan.
So you're basing this all on fucking Jonkin's argument?
Many arguments. We had many arguments about
I remember
this.
you were sleeping on Hogan too, like in mobile.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just a 1v1 though. What do you like? Even if like let's say Oki is weaker than Mobu, which I think he is, he still is like way smarter than him. He still has much better instincts than him. He has more experience than him. Shit like that. So like, how do you
Like that-
justify Mobu being over him just because of his strength?
Because Mobu showed that he can use strategy if he needs to, and it might be simple, but it's effective, and he can get the job done. And besides, who's gonna stop him? You know.
Yeah, that's mostly in flat terrain though. Like if you go to like wooded terrain, like people can like chip his army down, shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Still,
Like,
I think.
I don't agree, but fair enough, I guess.
Yeah, I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
I was saying our
Number
top 5 is gonna be the same and everything. I was like, bruh, forget that.
Yeah,
Like,
I haven't been in the community for a while, so.
It's okay.
Number 2, I got Renpa.
Alright.
I think there needs no explanation there. He's
Yeah,
a legend.
He's all around there. Yeah, go ahead.
Number 3, I got Oki.
All
Pretty
right.
much the same thing as Rempa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 4, I got Osen, the legend.
Hey.
I mean,
My
it's like
boy.
he's.
The so-called God.
In my opinion, I
Not
think he can
himself,
fight. He doesn't need to fight. I think he's like Darkseid, where he just doesn't have to fight, so he doesn't want to. But when he needs to fight, he can fight. That's just my opinion, though. It's just my headcanon.
That's kind of funny, yo, because you don't know like anything about me. You just assume that.
Okay, and number
I thought he was talking about the Marvel villain or like whatever the fuck DC villain.
yeah, Darkseid, because Darkseid he does not fight. He prefers to let his men do all the work.
I thought you were talking about me.
I was about to say, Darkseid
No.
took that mad
No.
personal.
I
He's
was
like,
like-
he was like, what you mean I don't fight? Like,
that boy.
What he said is on point, to be honest. That's why I was like, wait, you're talking about me?
he's like, yo, I scrap, man. Yo, it's like, yo, get the ring. We can fight.
I mean, I'll fight for sure. I just don't really start shit, so I don't really end up fighting that much.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, and number 5, like rounding out the top 5, I have Riboku. He's really smart, really solid, and apparently he can fight. So he's number 5.
Yeah, solid top 5 without like I disagree with the number 1 of everything else. I agree with. Alright, so Twale.
All right, so at 1, I got Oki. You know, big lips, Nafufu. Number 2, I got Renpa. 3, I got Riboku. But honestly, I got Riboku at 3 and Osen at 4. But depending on how this arc like ends, I can switch those two. And I got Mobile at 5.
Hey.
And that list is nice. So yeah, like the Osen Oki thing, like Riboku thing, like I agree with that. Like I was struggling with that as well because Riboku was like was getting some mad shine the past couple 10 or so chapters, and that was like swaying me a bit. But Jonkins.
All right, so my 1 and 2 are Rempa number 1 and Oki at number 2, and the reason I put these guys together is they're pretty much like the same general, like they're like those top tier all arounders. So I wanted to give like some explanation for why I put one over the other. And I guess I'd say like Oki, he's stronger in a 1v1. I consider Rempa I consider his strategy feats and his instinct feats more impressive, and also his morale boosting feats. So I think like Oki has the fighting, but Rempa is like pretty much just like a tad bit better at everything else. So I'd give him like the slight edge over Oki.
All right, I just want to say one thing. As much as I love Renpa actually had to give niggas hugs to boost morale. Oki just walked out in front of them.
Yo, but Twale, like this dude walks out in front of the Wii soldiers that aren't even his, and these niggas are fucking lit. They're like Renpa, bro. That shit was mad impressive.
This guy
man.
put one fist in the air, man. You can't disrespect that.
Yeah, and the
Yeah,
one fist
yeah,
in the
nah,
air.
you right,
Like,
you right.
It's got like the
You
biggest
right.
morale boosting we've ever seen, man.
Yeah, the commander in
Crazy.
chief was in the daze, bro. It was like, oh shit, what is this? This man just hugged him.
I don't know, man, because Oki has that 100 stat in charisma. That's why like his morale is just.
Yeah,
Nigga,
And
all
the
he had
whole
to do was
idea,
say
like,
no.
he
If
fights
Oki
10
had a
times.
loudspeaker and he said Nafufu, like I guarantee you, he'd get like 1 million men pumped to die, pumped to fight.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, so the next two ones are Osen and Riboku, and it's pretty much the same situation. Like they're almost the same general. The reason why I give Osen the slight edge is I think when it comes to like normal strategy, I think they're on par. But I think what puts Osen above him is he's better at psychological warfare and like unorthodox shit. Like I think that was shown with the Locust Clan. Like he created something that was like so unheard of that it was just like exceeded Riboku's like fucking imagination. Like he just couldn't believe this is like an actual viable tactic. And then we've seen his like psychological warfare versus Ordo. I think Osen's like the one person in the verse that's on par with Konki in psychological warfare. Yeah, I think just like in that aspect, Osen is better than Riboku, and that just gives him the slight edge.
Alright.
And then
The last sentence though, but everything else was nice, yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna end the list off with Mobile just because his offense is just fucking disgusting, man. Like his aim
Yeah.
is like a pure victory in planes. It's kind of like it's more hard to determine like in wooded terrain and like fucking mountainous terrain, depending on the circumstances. But like most battles are fought in plains anyways. And like he's just such a destructive force, man. Like he's a good strategist too. Like it's just too much.
Yeah.
Man, Mobile cuts down forests.
Mobile burns that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like, come out. Where you
I
at?
just go through the mountains,
man in
I'll
China.
just burn this shit. Like I'll meet you outside.
Go
He ain't
straight
even
through
gotta
the.
burn it. All he gotta do is say, "I'm the strongest man," and the shockwaves will just melt like just drop forests, my nigga. Mobile was the original Kaido.
For my list, I have like similar to like two of y'all. I have Rempa as number 1 and Oki as number 2. As I agree with what Jonkin said, Oki is a tad bit stronger, but I give like the leadership. I don't know about the instincts because like Oki's instincts when he came to finding out Ruboku, like he felt something was off, was pretty impressive. But in terms of leadership, I would give it to Rempa. And in terms of intelligence, I would also give it to Rempa. And Rempa has like a bit better portrayal when he was said to take on 2 out of 6 GG at the same time, as well as Ruboku himself saying that I can't even beat that guy. All that plus his feats makes me say he's the number 1 general in like all of China at the moment. And for number 2, I have Oki for like similar reasons to Rempa. We've seen how impressive he is martially. He was like putting in work against Hoken. He also has that leadership. They said his men are 10 times stronger once he's leading in the front. He has that charisma, as you guys pointed out. He also has that strategy, like where he's like an all-rounder. Like he can play defense, he can attack, he can toy with his opponents without him being even near the battlefield. Some top-tier shit. Like he's just all-around good. That's why he's my number 2. For my number 3 and 4, I struggled with that as well. Like it was between Osen and Ruboku. I ended up going with Osen 3rd because this arc I feel like he was more impressive than what's the name Ruboku. Even though Ruboku was doing more things and like fucking around with more areas, but I still think Osen was more impressive. But then not to like take away from Ruboku, he has been on fire recently. He figured out Akko's fucking weakness and like I don't know the little amount of time he had. And is always involved, always trying to like help his fucking team win. Yeah, I have him at 4, and at 5, I also have Mobile. Like I was struggling with this as well, but then when I put him up against like all the like Shoheiken, Corinne and shit, like I feel like he's just a bad matchup for like most of them. Like his strength and like I took into account the armies they have. Like I don't know how they even take him out, you know. And then he has that morale boosting that puts his army in another level. So like I have him at 5. In multiple situations too, not just flat terrain, he can come out on top, which is a credit to him of how good a general he is. And as you guys pointed out, he can use strategy to like better than most strategists. So that's a feat as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my top 5. Exactly the same as fucking Dark Sides too.
Yeah, he's copying me. Couldn't even think of his own list.
That's
Damn.
foul.
I thought you had Corinne at 5 or some shit, and you said Mobile. I was like, oh crap.
Nah,
It's because y'all ping ponging ideas together so much. It's like
You
it's
know,
stuck in your head.
Jonk is a
Just
fan.
bouncing off each other.
So, you know, so that's top 5. Like so, going 5 to 10, starting with DBZ.
I gotta admit something.
What?
I completely forgot about Shohei-kun. So he's not on my list.
Dark
Yeah.
Side.
Definitely
not
be-
him either, just because he's not a general.
That's crazy
yeah.
though. Like how you fighting for people like SSJ, but you're not fighting for Shoheku.
Look, I like. There's so many characters, so many foreign names. It's hard to remember them all.
Yo,
Please forgive.
Watch this tie back to Heki.
It was Jimmy. 1 second.
Heki is easy to remember. That's all.
A guy commented that said my profile pic has nothing to do with that me having Osen over Ruboku, like sarcastically. Like I have this avatar as a joke, and I just never forgot to change it, dude. I'm not like an Osen fanboy or anything.
Yeah, I remember like back in the days where you used to say that Conky was over Olsen.
Biggest Conky fanboy in the verse.
You remember those days, Darkseid? We used to put Conky over Osen.
I mean, what do you mean?
You said they were equal, I think.
Yeah, I have him symbolized.
No, he said they were equal recently. Like, but before he was saying Conky was over him.
Now
I remember that.
I was always arguing they're equal, or like Osen's a bit above. That's what I was always arguing. I didn't even change that by much. Anyways, go ahead, DBZ.
Better.
Okay, so number 6, I got Kanmei for the reasons is Mobu, but I think Mobu's a better leader than he is. Then number 7, I got
I agree
Toho.
with that, but I think Kanmei's a better strategist than Mobile is.
Yeah.
Not based on much,
Well-
just based on stats, really.
Well, I don't really know. Like, okay, if the stats say that, then yeah. But Conmay also had 3 strategists in his ranks. Like he had 2 generals that were strategists, and then he had the old man
Yeah, but they all seem like
who
they
were
were
like handling the.
relative in intelligence. Like they all seem to.
Yeah, he can keep up with their conversations and shit. Like he wasn't left out, you know.
No,
Like,
I'm not saying he's stupid, but I'm just saying like he had strategists that were able to handle the flow of the actual troops, while he just handled the 1v1s. Kind of like what Shin does and Mobile. But I can see how you would say he's like I don't know, like I said, I don't know if I would say he's strategically better.
I think they're the same strength in my intelligence, in my opinion. I don't know. Stats say different, but not from what we've seen. Like they both understood the echelon formation. That's all we have to go by from the story.
Yeah. Only really feats
Yeah.
Kame has is he was able to understand how to counter the echelon formation. That's like a top end formation, so that's pretty
Yeah.
impressive.
And Mobile probably
Yeah.
knows how to counter it, seeing he used it. You know.
Yeah.
Same,
All right, my fault. Y'all can continue.
It's okay. That's what you
That's
want.
okay.
Like, just interjections. You know.
Yeah. Number where was I? Yeah, I
Seven.
said toe. It's number 7. I got toe.
Towel.
Number
Yeah.
yeah, towel. However you pronounce it. Towel.
Nah, I just
Number
joking
8. Number 8. I got Karin. Number 9. I got Yantanwa. And number 10. I got Konki.
Trash list. All right.
The Tama talk is gonna be cancer. I could just tell.
How do you? What's his name? Why did you say your Tom over Conky? What made you say that? Just
Because
Well-
Konki's been relegated to fighter duty while your Tama
Yeah.
fights battles.
I mean, excluding then your Tom was just fucking living off Hecky's, shit,
Come on.
Here we go.
No,
Like,
no, don't say that.
Like
I
when
know a lot of
Hecky
people are
asked
looking down on Yantanwa recently, but she's still really good.
when Hecky asked her to be a general, she was like, "I was waiting for you to say that, man. I really need you, man."
That's
Shit.
because she feels the emotion of her men. She's really good at listening. She's a woman after
The thing
all.
about Yutanwa is I still think like she's legit because she obviously has to win this battle. It's gonna be like crazy odds, but she's just been so disappointing recently. It's crazy.
Yeah. I just like at first, like before even Arc started, I could like understand people giving her the benefit of the doubt, saying she's better than Conky was due to her stats and shit. But then intelligence wise, I don't think she's that close to him. And strength wise, yeah, she's stronger. And his army is arguably stronger than hers as well. And he also has like
she might be stronger, but Zeno's gonna 1v2 her and Bajo. Like,
facts. What do you mean? Facts. But yeah, Conky has. I think he's smarter than her. He has like, I don't know about better leadership because obviously she has that morale boosting. But then, as I think Jonkins pointed out, they have like, was it his army? Like they have like similar problems in their armies that Conky. I don't agree with this, but then Conky is only they follow him for that being able to steal and shit, and they follow her for the pussy, So
I think that's a much better
That's it.
motivation. Like, I don't know about you.
I mean, they get pussy regardless in Conky's army,
Konki's
man.
might get pussy regardless, but it's
Yeah.
not that Yutanwa level pussy though.
Yeah, this man, she made Hecky GG level. What do you mean?
Yeah,
He tapped that
way
shit
better
once.
motivation.
But yeah, I just think Conky has better feats, and I feel like he'll be more impressive in the future as well compared to her. But I guess it's your list.
I think it's a lot of recency bias. I think that
What
after
recency
this
bias?
battle-
What made you recency tell you that you're talented? In fact, she looks worse than Conky in recency bias. In terms of
this is
recency-
my list, okay?
I know.
like,
I'm just wondering,
This is
bro.
what I feel.
I'm not trying
I
to
feel that Yantanwa is still good despite, like, you guys thinking she's disappointed. I think she's been fine. Like, of course, like, there's some situations that, like, she can't control, like the whole, like, burning of the food and stuff. That was beyond her. That anybody would have felt for that.
Okay,
But-
what about day 1? Walks into the trap. Day 2, it's a food supplies burn. Day like fucking 3 through 9 doesn't do jack shit. Day
Just to-
10 gets carried by Hecky. Like, come on.
Look, I think by the end of this battle, she'll have some amazing feats.
I can agree
I,
with that.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
So your 10th Conky, decent list. Nice. All right. So Twilight, what about yours?
okay, let me look at my list. Boom. 6, I have Toe. 7, which was just recently put up there. I have Akko.
Oh,
Ooh.
shit.
Nani?
Yeah.
Nandato?
Hey,
What
man.
is
nigga.
happening?
Yeah, I got Akko at number 7. I have
Man has over
Um,
Conky, bro. Shit.
I have a couple people. I have a couple people over Conky.
Uh,
I have Shohei at 10. I have Shohei at 8. I have Kareem at 9, and I have Kaname at 10.
Damn, bro.
Yeah,
I see.
everything else beside Akko, I understand. I don't understand why Akko.
See, I don't know,
Because he
man. I'm
was able
conflicted
to
on.
implement high-level OSIN strategies. He's able to survive a
Yeah, but
2v onslaught.
we've seen people of Roboku's level can see through that shit. It's not like the people is like
But
all in the top 10 of
Who
strategy.
else is on Roboku's level? Like, think about
What
it.
do you mean?
Nobody on the battlefield that he was on could have saw through that battle plan. It
Yeah.
took a person of Roboku's level, who everybody has in their top 3, if not top 5. You know what I'm saying?
I
To
have a
see
lot
through
of
that.
people on Roboku's level, like
The thing is,
Corinne,
it's not just seeing
Shohei.
through the strategy. You have to have a fucking army as strong as Gyoun, Bananji, and Chogari's army. Like
That too.
most of the strategists like Conky, like they're not gonna get anywhere.
I don't
close to
know.
defeating
Yeah, I
that
feel
shit.
like Zeno can
Yeah.
break the fucking the legs and Raido can swoop in. But I
Like
don't
I said,
See, I don't think
this
Zeno's
was a
strong
recent
enough to
addition.
I don't think Raido's strong enough to fucking to break through it.
yeah,
Yeah.
but then he's gonna follow Zeno as Zeno break through it, you know?
Yeah, and they'll both get trapped by the fences, or Eiko will just come in and kill them.
But not only that, but
2v1
remember,
versus Akko, you lose.
Hold on. Remember,
Nah,
Gyoun got in
bro.
from the opposite side. He didn't break in from the same side as Bananji. He got in on his own
Yeah, he broke
after
through
seeing how
himself.
Bananji
Yeah.
did.
And
That's
the
So-
reason for that, like I said, is because of the fences. They had to counter that. They couldn't just get
Right,
trapped.
but yeah. So Toe at 6, Akko at 7. Then I have Shohei, Kareem, and Kanme.
Okay.
I respect it. My only thing is like
I don't think he also
I'm
has.
conflicted on this because Eiko has the feats to say he's like one of the best, but he doesn't have that 60G portrayal. So
Yeah,
it's kind of
true.
weird.
And also, I don't think he has
Okay.
experience in leading large armies and shit. He can do that shit with his 20k. I don't know how you can implement that with like a bigger army that these guys have. But
Like
Honestly, I
lack
think
of
he would do.
experience, I guess.
I think he would do better with a bigger army. Like even
It's harder
Roboku
to maneuver
stated.
and shit, you know. I know he has that.
I'm saying even
has that-
Roboku stated that he would be like if he wasn't under someone, he would be a commander of a large army.
Yeah,
So
that stunted his potential. Is the thing, man. If he was by himself training and getting more and more men, yeah, it makes
I
sense.
don't know.
Gaining
I don't know if
experience.
to say it stunted his potential. Just like kind of like Kyokai. Like she can get as strong as she's gonna get, but like militarily, she can't outseed her commander.
So, like, you think right now if they give Akko 100k men, he can like fine,
Well,
no
here's the thing-
mishaps.
Here's the thing about that, because Eiko's a warrior general, and I think for warrior generals, like the higher the numbers are, the more difficult it is for them. Because let's say you're like 200k versus 200k, it's hard to like fucking decide that with your own strength.
That's
even
why
though,
I
But
like
it
strategies
depends
coming in,
on
yeah.
it depends on how your army is. It also depends on how your army is trained and like how disciplined they are. Because how to put this? If Akko had 200,000 men and they were the same discipline, the same like strength as his current men, I don't see why it would be harder for him to maneuver his troops. He would just have
It's just a
more
lot more
delegates
track of.
like Goonie, but he would still be able to maneuver his troops. I don't see why that would stunt him.
but it's harder to like micromanage everything when you're
Yeah.
leading huge armies. So I think Riboku would like outmaneuver him worse than if it was like
Yeah,
20K.
and these men won't be as. I don't think like because he trained these small number of men so diligently. But if he has 200k, I don't know how you can get the time to train them all that diligently as he trained the 20k people. You know?
Yeah, you bring like a more realistic scenario. Like let's say he has his 20k elites, and then the rest
Yeah,
of like
exactly,
his 200k army is like normal soldiers. Like he's gonna get outmaneuvered by a top level strategist, like
But
consistently.
what about this? Like he knows some of Usin's tactics. Like what if he knows large scale ones too?
The thing is, I think when it comes to knowledge, he's like amazing. Like he knows a bunch of crazy tactics. I just think like when it comes to on the spot adaptability, like his own intelligence.
Like
isn't up to par.
yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Like
What
he,
do we-
yeah, it's
We
like
think Akko's
banking.
limit is because honestly, we haven't even seen a person lead like solely by themselves 100k yet. You know what I'm saying? Like even right now, we have 200k, and it's broken up in between what 3 great general level people, then the smaller commanders like Heki and Shin and them. So it's
That's a good
like,
point.
when
How
do
we
we
see-
ever see one person manage that larger number?
Well,
Yeah.
when I'm saying that, I'm assuming like Aqua has his 20k elites, and then the rest of like the 80k or something are just led by like Doman tier generals, like just like throwaway people.
And like we see with Olsen, he was like managing each battlefield, setting it up and shit. So like, I don't think Akko has that like intelligence to like think that far ahead
I
and
don't
shit.
know. I
Why?
think Akko could
Right.
do
I
that.
don't. I was gonna say. I'm not saying he's Osen level overall. I'm just saying he's. I got him at number 7.
Not even Olsen level, just like top tier strategist level. I don't think he's that level. Alright, so that's your. So you
Yeah.
said Shoheiken after that, and then who else? My bad, we were talking. Repeat it one more time.
To Akko, Sohekun Karin Kanme.
Alright,
Alright,
so who has your John? Cause you haven't said it yet, so you go.
let me find this shit. All right, so number 6 is Kanmei. He's pretty much I put him like one spot after Mobu because, like I said, he's pretty much almost exactly like Mobu. I don't think he's the strongest Mobu. I think Mobu has better leadership, but I think he has like a bit better intelligence to make up for it. And they're like end up being about the same. I just give Mobu the slight edge. And then
Yeah.
I have Karin after because I think she's one of the best strategists in the verse. She did outplay Toll pretty badly. She did have a numbers advantage though, like a pretty huge one. So you
Half
got
his numbers, yeah.
yeah, you got to kind of take that with a grain of salt. But I think regardless, like having it so you can have Toe on the verge of checkmate with like one play and just like completely outplaying him and having to have Toe rely on Osen to like cover his back for him. I think that's pretty crazy. And like
After,
we know she's gonna be a major player later on. She's like pretty much like the big bad guy of Chu. So she's
I'm
gonna be
not
huge in this
arguing
match.
where you have her. Like I'm just arguing it wasn't one play. She had a mirage of plays to get her men over there, like the elephants, the encirclement, the barrage of attacks leaving the battlefield. Like it wasn't just one play that got over on Toe. And plus the numbers. But I'm not arguing like where you have her. I'm just arguing that point.
Yeah, I just meant it as like one major play, like one like part of the battlefield is
Yeah,
shifted.
she basically she outplayed him. That's all.
Yeah.
Not to not downplay it, but yeah, continue.
Oh yeah. I have Toe after. And then Conky after Toe, and I have to justify this because Toe his feats aren't amazing, while Conky clearly has shown a lot more. So basically, the way I justify this is, even though Toe hasn't been impressive, I think stats wise, like not like the guy, but stats, like just literally like like his inverse stats. I think overall he's better than Conky because he's like one of the strongest in the verse. His morale boosting is kind of questionable, but his leadership is good. He has a bunch of experience, so he can basically do what Aiko's doing, except with like Oki's tactics, and he's shown really good instincts. So I think when it comes down to that, he can like avoid a lot of traps from like top tier strategists just due to instincts alone. He can like keep up with them in the battle formations just because of how experienced he is and how smart he is. And I think just like his own martial might will like tip the scales in his favor a lot of times, especially in flat terrain. And then for Conky, like top tier strategist, I just think I just can't like put him on the same like pedestal as like Olsen or Revoke. Like I don't think he's GOAT status based on like his feats, based on what he's done. Like I think his psychological warfare is like cool, like is not something that a lot of strategists do, but I can't see him fucking fighting on par with other strategists when it comes to normal tactics. And I don't think his psychological warfare is gonna work on like those top tiers like Olsen and Riboku.
Okay. Is that 10? Is that 5 to 6? Do you list all of them?
That was 9, I think. My
Yeah.
10th one is Dukyo.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm kind of conflicted on Dukyo because he was a beast at Coalition, but I think his performance versus Goke was fucking abysmal. Like he just got so fucking lucky versus Goke. And the thing is, people praise Goke for this. They're like, "Oh, the stars had to align for like Duke to beat him," but I just think Goke was just doing like some pretty basic shit. Like he wasn't doing anything amazing. It was just Duke being terrible with like his like fucking formation maneuvering and shit. So like that's why I'm kind of hesitant to put him this high, but like his performance at Coalition was pretty crazy. Like he had like a crazy numbers disadvantage, and then he pretty much proved that he was the epitome of instinct, and he's like one of the strongest fighters in the verse too. So, yeah, as basically my reason.
I respect it.
All right. So for my list, I have 6 Conky. Yeah, I disagree with the whole thing you said about him not being on the same pedestal as Osin and Ruboku because
What a
when I was
shocker.
reading, no, it's not anything biased. It's like when I was reading Kokyo Hills, like he was in multiple occasions they portrayed him on that level of Ruboku, like to take it or leave it. People disagree with it before, but then it's there. when
I'm not talking about pedestal like same level. I'm talking about like the
I think
pedestal where you can argue someone is like the greatest of all time.
hmm I think he's like on their level in terms of intelligence, but I don't think he has their army strength is like in terms of Osen. And then I don't know, leadership wise, I'll give it to Roboku as well. But then strictly talking about intelligence, which is like when they're all three of theirs greatest asset, I think he's on their level, like he's neck and neck with them. Plus, as you mentioned, that's just normal intelligence. But yeah, he also has that psychological warfare that you talked about. You said earlier that Ost is on par with him, which is arguable. But I think that he has like showcased that the best, as you also said yourself, the best psychological warfare in the game. And I think that's useful, even though he might not like play with their heads. He can mess with their armies and like do feints and stuff the way that Corinne did. You seen how Corinne used psychological warfare against like a smart guy like Toe? I feel like Khan can do that even better, like in terms of outplaying top tier generals. And he, what's his name? Oh, I was gonna say something else, but I forgot. Yeah, that. And just that's it, I guess. So 7, I have Shohei-kun. I had something else, but then I just rambled and I forgot the rest. If it comes back to me, I'll go back to it. I have Shohei-kun 7. I think he's like intelligence wise on par with Ruboku, Kanki, and Osen as well. Even though he's not a general, he has shown the ability to lead people when he came to the I just think him not being a general is a formality. I feel like he can still be able to lead men, and he has his own elite corps as well. And then he was able to like when on the brink of like when they were coming at his ass in coalition, he was able to think of a counter to it, and it succeeded to the help of all the generals there. But then that's still impressive by him on the spot thinking of that. Plus the current arc we have now, even though that his fucking his strategy went to flames, he still was still very impressive. Him thinking about that, using the bait, the feint, and then going towards the Gyo and shit. That was impressive. Plus, like with in addition to everything what like Kanki did and Osen did, like that was just the overall great strategy by him. And he, as you said, he's like strong. I don't know if anyone said that, but I think he's very strong. Like besides Mobu, I think he's the second strongest like general-ish person in Ken right now. No, third behind Toe. He might even be stronger than Toe, but we will have to see. That's also like we don't know like the rest of the strategies like Osen, Ruboku, Kanki, how strong they are, but we know this man Shogun is like pretty strong. And 8, I have Corinne. The same exact reasons y'all said before about her outplaying Toe. I do take into account the shit with the whole numbers being like double toes, but it's still very impressive to outplay a person that has so much experience. Like him falling for that is really shocking to me, seeing how many times he was in battle and shit. So for her to pull that off with all her feints is a feat to be amazed at. And 9, I have Toe because he has the experience. He has the martial might. He has the intelligence, although he hasn't shown it yet. I feel like I give him the benefit of the doubt and say that in the future he will show all this shit. And at 10, I have Conmay. The same reasons you guys said. He's the strongest mobile. He has a strong ass army. He has intelligence to like understand the echelon formation. His leadership is good as well. Has dope morale boosting. He's a
Yeah,
good
a
general.
lot of experience too.
Yeah. Like,
Took over 100 cities. No problem.
yeah.
All right, so it's DBZ now.
Yeah. Did
Okay.
you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Okay, at number 11, I got Duke. The Duke!
The Duke.
Like, Jonkins did a great job explaining the hypeness of Duke. A really good, like, instinctual general, like, the upper echelons of instincts. Like, he's a legend. And, at number 12, I got Gaimo. The dude is just a beast.
Nani? Nanato?
Yeah. He's just a beast.
I mean, Gaimo himself is pretty much like an idiot who just cares about dueling. He's not even a warrior general. He's just like a duelist general. And then
I mean, at this point in my list, you can tell that I really highly evaluate martial prowess.
yeah,
And he's one of the top 10, like up there.
I don't know, man. I like it's just his mentality about things. Like he just doesn't give a fuck. He'll do stupid shit and like call people out to a fight. And I don't think his strategist is like a good enough strategist to make up for that. For like him to be like top 15, top 12. That's just my opinion though.
I agree.
Number 13, I got Akko.
Hey,
Respect.
This dude has impressed me a
Listen,
lot
man,
this arc. What?
Nah, it was my fault. Go ahead.
It's alright. It's the fact that he survived was like, the plot. Akins did save him, but I just think it was impressive for him to last that long.
Akakid is part of his army, man. That's Eiko's.
Yeah. Like he's really impressed me. At number 14, I got Gyoen. How do you pronounce that? That dude has really impressed me so far as well, and the fact that he's like up there with Gaimo in terms of strength, instinct, reminds me of Duke. Not on Duke's level, but he's like really close.
Yeah, he also has a strategy to make up for it. He's a pretty beastly strategist.
Yeah, he's really good. And number 15, I got the yellow
No.
Bananji.
Oh, okay.
I thought
you were about to-
Oh no.
Oh, thank God. But yeah, I agree with that placement. I think like Bananji's like on par with Eiko and Gyoen like strength wise, and I think like strategy wise you can keep up with him. But like Gyoen and Eiko both have like this extra thing. Like Eiko has the Osen tactics and Gyoen has the instinct, and Bananji kind of doesn't have anything else.
Yeah.
So it just gives him the edge over him.
All right, Twale.
What we doing? 11 through 15, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So I have at 11, boom, 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 Kanki at 11, Yotanwa at 12, Dukio at 13. I have Gyoun at 14, and I have Moten at 15.
Wait, Moten's not in general, right?
Oh, we don't count.
I mean, I didn't add them, but you can add them. It's whatever.
Yeah, I'm
That's
adding
fine.
Moten. He's technically a general for this one because he got promoted. You know what I'm saying? So he technically has the rank of general now.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'll put him at 15.
Moten's kind of comparable to Kisui though, and I don't rank Kisui like that highly.
Yeah.
Like he might
Hey,
be at
I
a
just have.
disadvantage, but like he does have some really strong troops for him. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. He lacks experience
Yeah.
from me. Yeah, he's been leading 5K, but then the guys were like comparing him with have way more experience than him. When he
Yeah.
gains that, he's gonna be formidable. I agree.
But
Yeah.
that's the thing, though. Like all of Moten's experience has been off screen. Because if you
Yeah,
remember, he
I'm
was
adding
like he
that
was
as well. I'm
doing.
adding that as well. Like just in
Oh.
comparison to the other, like Akko that's been the fucking right hand of Osen for how many years? Gyoen that's been a monster, fucking 12 years
Yeah,
ago plus and shit. You know.
true, but
Just talking
my
about
man,
experience leading like a large number of men, because up until
Yeah.
now, Moten's only led 5K to our knowledge.
yeah, true.
He might like he's doing some good shit with the men he has now, like countering Kisui's large number of men.
Yeah.
But we don't know what he's doing though. I wish we seen it. I want to see
Yeah.
his light
Why do we
approach.
get bitch
And
ass
we
Seki
also,
when we
like-
can see Moten?
Yeah.
And it was also hinted that like when him, Uhon, and Roku Omi went to go back up Mobu, that he was the one in charge of their forces as well.
Yeah, I don't know about
He
that.
was because he was the one that Karine highlighted, like when they had pulled back during what was the State of A
Yeah.
invasion or whatever. When she was like, "Yeah, I was about to give Mobu's son a good spanking," like you know what I'm saying?
If he was leading them, I think he'd be at the HQ, and then I don't think Cardinal would have a chance to give him a spanking if he was. I think it was just
Right.
like on the front lines doing
Him
his
and
shit.
Karine are both strategists, so that's the thing. Like she could have been talking about strategically giving him a spanking. Like, you know what I'm saying, with how she maneuvers her troops. Because he seemed to be, like I said, it wasn't confirmed, but he just seemed to be the one in control. Like judging by her statements and judging by like when you do see them in the formation, he was the one in the middle. Like when they discussed what was his name, Osen's absence during Retsubi, he was the one, like, you know what I'm saying, was like, yo, Moten, explain it. Even though Yotanwa was there, you know what I'm saying? Like Moten is better than what we've seen of him, is what I'm trying to say.
I agree. I just don't think there's enough evidence to say he was leading there, especially since Mobu was like a prideful person. He would want to like lead that shit and like have.
Oh, wait, Twilight, are you saying that he was leading the detachment that came with the whole shit?
the detachment. I'm saying like he led like
Rokume.
Uhon and Rokuomi.
Actually,
Oh, okay. I thought you
Yeah.
meant like he led like the whole army.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
he
what
was-
I
Oh
understood.
no. Like
Fucking Mobu was
Mobu
taking orders
was
from him.
the supreme commander. Like don't get me wrong. I'm just saying like
Yeah.
that detachment, like those 3 units, like he was in charge of them.
Imagine Mobile was like, I have Moten lead me.
Like,
What?
no, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Might as well get
Yeah, I
Mookie.
still think they were separate units.
Alright, so did you
Oh,
say
yeah,
you're
it's,
15?
my turn.
Your
my
turn,
turn.
yeah.
Let's see. I have Yotandwa at number 11. The shocker. She has been trashed this arc, but like we said, like the fucking odds against her are crazy. So she's gonna need to pull some crazy shit out of her ass and like show she is legit for Kin to win this. And we know Kins are winning this, so I'll just give her benefit of the doubt for now. I can't put her like over these other 60G level people that have actually been impressive though. But I still have to give her respect. And then after is Gohome. I'm giving him a lot of benefit of the doubt too because he hasn't been that impressive. I mean, he's really good at sieging, obviously. He knows the Ryudo, so it shows that he has like a plethora of like really high level tactics that he's mastered. And the thing is that Way Fire Dragons, he got outplayed by Ohan and he had like all the advantages on the world. But to fucking to be fair to him, like who would expect that Fire Dragons would die to like 3K commanders and shit
Yeah.
and like get pushed back by them? Like you have to give him like some leeway for that. I just don't think he's been that impressive. Like we haven't seen him fight in like a battle of flat terrain or like any battle that's not him having like a crazy high advantage.
Mm.
But he is Way's number 1, so I kind of feel like Way will be trash if he's not at least this good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Gekishin is my next one. Gekishin got a lot of hype. Like Jan's number 1, he said he could have been a Zhao 3 Great Heaven if he remained at Zhao. And I think he did live up to the hype. Like he got outplayed by Riboku and he got fucked over by Hoken, but he did see through Riboku's strategy. So it's like even though Riboku had a plan B, it showed that he's capable of like outplaying really high level strategies and shit, and he has like really good observation. That's basically
Nah,
what I put
man,
him
he
there.
got one shotted. I can't respect that one. He got one shotted. Like, nah, no one shots can be in the top 20, bro. But fuck it, Gakura is number 20 then, nigga. Like, nah, come on, no one shots. You
was
just
straight up.
you
didn't
disqualified if you got
I
a
liked
one shot in your record.
I liked that. Like that was pretty cocky on his part, thinking just because he fucked up with other Poochins, he can fuck with Hoken. That shit was. If he didn't do that, the war might have ended differently. But
Yeah, at least
yeah.
they made some
That shit was
justification for
hilarious,
it,
though.
other than him just being a cocky idiot.
Yeah.
All right, so number 14, I have Aiko, and then number 15, Gyoun. I think these guys are pretty comparable in like almost everything. Like they're on par strength wise, strategy wise. I'd say they're on par too. It's just what it just really matters. Do you prefer Gyoun's instincts to Aiko's like Osun strategies? I think that's really the one thing that separates them, and it's what you
yeah,
deem more valuable that like puts one over the other.
the thing is, right? I personally believe that Gyoen has the shit you said about Akko having Osen's tactics. He studied under RSJ. He hasn't shown it yet. He showed that basic shit he did with 10 in them, maneuvering them. But I think he also has like some top tier shit from RSJ. But we've yet to see it out. So your point is valid.
I mean,
So
I'm taking that into account. I just don't think it's as good as Osun strategies.
I think it's like it depends on the strategy, but I think it's comparable due to them being comparable generals themselves. I don't think even if Akos is better, it won't be by like, oh shit, clearly outclasses this dude's strategy.
I don't think
you know?
any strategy Gyoen has even like compares to what Aiko did when he's defending against the 3 of them. I think that's like far above anything Gyoen like has, pretty much.
I don't know. I disagree. I think he has not far above, but like some close to it. Because
I don't know. He was looking kind of helpless, man.
I know,
He was
yeah.
helping 2 other generals.
As you said, he has that knowledge. He has that knowledge, but he doesn't have that, on the spot thinking that you can see through that shit. The same with Akko. So, yeah, he might not be able to solve that shit, but then he might have some up his sleeve that's similar to that. Not in like exact carbon copy, but like in terms of impressiveness. That formation is nasty. That's just ridiculous. Or even Hohan himself was like, I don't know what to do here, and he's a pretty smart guy, That shit's ridiculous. I think Uroku himself has like man-made formations as well, but we haven't yet to see it. I give him the benefit of that and say he has that as well.
We've seen Ryu though. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, but that's something like a lot of people know of. I don't think this formation I think didn't Osen make this formation I feel like he
Yeah.
made it himself, like
he
self-made
did.
shit. I believe. All right, cool. So that's your 15, right? Or that was 14?
I
Oh,
was
that was 15. Yeah, you said 14, 15. All right. So for my list, I have 11 Yatanwa. No, 11 Dukio above Yatanwa. Because Dukio, as you guys said, he has like top tier instincts, top tier
the Duke.
martial might, and he has like good leadership as well. His men would die for him in any situation. And Yatanwa, I give her the benefit of the doubt. Obviously, she'll do something good at the end of this arc. But then for now, I don't think she's more impressive than Duke has been. Him being able to just instincts alone go through the Ryudo and like see Ruboku's plan to leave, just noticing those fine details. I was pretty impressive by him.
I mean, I can get why you say that because strength-wise, they're probably comparable. Leadership-wise, like morale boosting-wise, they're comparable.
Yeah, everything exactly.
It just like, but Dukyo also has those crazy instincts, and all Yotaru really has to compete against that is a strategy, which hasn't really been that
Yeah,
impressive.
that's the thing, and their armies are comparable as well. I think Dukio's elites were similar to Yatama's elites. There's a
Fodder terms, but I don't think he has anyone that can fuck with Baggio.
yeah, true. He doesn't have any right hand that could fuck with Baji because his army wasn't even expanded upon like that.
Yeah.
Probably if you stayed, they probably gave him one. And as I said, Yatama was my 12. My 13 is Gyohyume. Yeah, as you guys said, I give it a benefit though. She's the number one of in Wii.
Way.
And then what's his name? Ruboku was also, and just her engineering can come to play in how she interprets it in her actual strategies.
It's a he, Draco. It's a he.
Oh,
I was about
fuck.
to say, is that? I thought it was a boy.
I always, bro. The first time I read the manga, I thought it was a nun. Like she had that nun outfit. I thought it was a chick. To this day, I still think she's a chick. But yeah, my bad.
Draco, nuns be out here leading men in war, slaughtering.
Yeah, she's that crazy
Oh,
nun.
that nun was
I
good
know.
at warfare. Hell
I'm
yeah.
not saying that she is a nun. She looked like a nun. Like I pictured her like a
Yeah,
nun.
I know.
So,
Yeah.
so he, as you said, like he can incorporate engineering that Ruboku himself said he can't do, and not the stats are anything. But then he was given 98 stat. But that could be the same thing that said for Yutama. So just take it with a grain of salt. Plus the thing he said about him being surpassing his dad and surpassing that fucking Wee Fire Dragon that was pretty smart herself. So I think his intelligence is up there.
That was a guy too.
Oh my god! These fucking gender benders, man.
It's traps, man. It's fucking
Yeah.
traps.
Draco falling for all the traps.
And yeah, I just give him the benefit of being he already has intelligence and he showed some top tier formations and him being the number one. The same reasons you guys said, him being the number one we should come into play. Even though like Karin doesn't respect him at all.
So,
And my 14 is Gyoen.
Mhm.
It's like same, like he's like Akko in the sense that he has that comparable strength, comparable armies as well. Their armies is pretty fucking strong. And then he has like
I don't know about comparable armies.
what do you mean? Like his army was able to like withstand Kyoka and all of fucking like his army was able to withstand Kyoka when they didn't have anyone notable on their side in that skirmish, you know?
Yeah, and when they try to pull the same shit on Aiko's army, they just easily shrugged it off like they were garbage.
Nah, Eiko has hacks. What do you mean? Yeah, that fucking
Draco has hacks.
yes, he does. That formation was straight hacks, man. When the
It's not like
second,
they even made it far into the formation for the formation's like true power to show itself. They just could barely do shit.
yeah, but then as soon as he saw Benanji break it down, he broke it down himself, and he was able to like weave through when he gained
That's
momentum.
his own strength mostly though.
I mean, his army strength too. You can't do it alone. This guy Gyon could take on fucking all of Akko's army and break through himself. I think his army did a lot of the work as well, even though they weren't highlighted. They were just highlighting this man's strength. And his instincts like up there with Duke. I think is top tier as fuck. And his unique style of incorporating the strategy with it as well could be hard for other strategists to deal with, as they said in the manga. I don't know how to take CGR's word for it because I don't think top tier strategists are gonna be more helpless than 10, you know, because they're smarter than her.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, I think that's a threat he has. And for 14, I have Akko. I just put him over Akko. 'Cause I think he's a better general. As I said, he might have similar stats to intelligent tactics as Osen. I mean, as Akko learned from Osen, and he was said to be RSJ's best pupil. He's like all the strategies were drained in his head, and he has that unique instincts, as I said, and his martial might. They are pretty comparable. They're neck and neck as generals. And for 15, I have Gekishin. I like the way that he was able to that shit. The way that whole chapter was one of my favorite chapters. The way they just showed his thoughts and like they pictured what he's thinking, and he was able to like. And I also think Gaku is like fucking Gakuki, right? That's his name. Like Gakuki's plan, like strategy of like working back from your L's to find out what happened. I feel like that's pretty neat as well. And him to like just by looking at it, 60 years of experience using that to decipher Roku was mad impressive to me. And as I said, he has experience, so he's 15 for me. That's my list. So we're going 16 to 20 now. Anyone have comments on it or anything?
I think we would just like talk about the list overall after we finish.
All right, yeah. Like we like this. The thing is, the bad thing about going last, like we've all talked about these characters before we even got to me, so I have literally nothing new to say. So like, same as you said, same as that said.
Should have planned this before we got him
Yeah.
first.
I was trying to be a good host and let the fucking guest speak, but then fuck. Alright, DVD, go ahead.
Okay, this part of our list, kind of iffy on because I forgot a lot of people and there's a lot of generals. So, number 16, I got Gohome. Like you guys said, he has to do something. He's the only person that's way besides Gaimo. Number 17, I got Kisha. I was one of the few people that rates Kisha highly. Kesha, however you pronounce him. I think his spider trap is really impressive.
I like his style.
Yeah. Which one I was on? 18, I got Kisui.
Bruh. Oh, you already said Bananji, so I was like,
yeah.
Your Bananji.
No, never. Never.
I just can't let what happened to him go. Like how badly he got outplayed. Like that shit. Like it's not even because he got outplayed by Conquer.
Nah, he got outplayed.
So, all of it. That's enough to bring him out the top 20?
With these other people being beastly for me, yeah. I mean, just the way he got outplayed, it was just so dumb to me.
Just straight fire from Conky, but psychologically have used this dude.
Hey, at least he didn't get one shot though. So
who got one shot? Gaku, yeah.
Gaku shit.
Gaku's trash. He's her fucking trash subordinate. his, my bad.
Okay, 19. I got Mogu. The goat. The goat.
I was not expecting Mogu.
Okay, that was a troll, but still Mogu. Because I couldn't think of anybody. And then number 20, I got the man, the legend. I got Heki, yo. Heki has been doing so many.
I gotta take you, bro. My bad.
No, I'm just kidding. I got Ordo. I couldn't think of anybody.
I fucking. Alright, Twale.
I'm just thinking about how trash that list was. that ending was, yeah, man. All right. 16, I got Bananji. 17, I got Gaimo. 18, I got Earl Shi. 19, I got Renko. And 20, I got Kesha.
All right. Jonkins.
All right, so 16, I got Goke. Like I was saying earlier, I don't think like he was that impressive. It was just so more Duke being like fucking trash.
Super trash.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I mean, he has that weakness, but he is considered like one of the best strategists. He did say like had that one comment like I could think of like 60 different ways to like escape this if I wanted to, and like he does have like some sick strats with the chariots. So I do think he's pretty legit. I just think he's overrated at times. And then
I forget about him. I don't even know if he's overrated. I totally forgot about him, but I put him on my list though.
Number 17 is Bananji. Like I said earlier, like he has the strength to be comparable to like Eiko and Gyo, and he has the leadership, he has the strategy. He just doesn't have that one special thing that like separates him. Like
I agree.
The instinct, Eiko has the host and strategies.
I think it's too late to introduce that as well. Like I was thinking they might introduce it, but I think it's too late now.
Yeah.
If he had that, it would have been nice. All of them paralleling each other with their own special shit.
I mean, he almost killed Uhan. Does that not count?
Yeah, we know how strong he is. We're talking about like in terms of other than his martial might.
And number 18, I got
Uhan gave him the work, so I don't know.
Come on, not this again. Not this again.
I'm saying out of that fight, Uhon looked better than he did. He had to
Until
literally
he got him
throw.
off his horse,
had to-
and then he was about
He
to
had to
smash him
throw
with
his
the fist.
glaive. He said, "Nah, I can't handle this duel. I gotta throw my glaive,
Hey,
get you on the floor, and
all
wrestle
fair
with
in war. It
Yeah,
doesn't
that was
matter.
not
It doesn't
the time to
matter.
handle this duel because Aiko's coming.
you." I'm just saying, you go from having a duel with a nigga
Bro,
to
what
wrestling because you can't handle it.
Bro,
You
speaking of that, what happened there? Like
Too, man.
they were about to 2v1 there and nothing happened. Shit, that was blue balls.
You think like, all right, Aiko and Alon's there, he's done for, and he just like casually walks away. Like, all right, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Is that a fee for his speed? No, I'm just kidding.
man, I got teleportation, dude. He's like,
Like, man just got on his horse, had like some men like block his path, and it's like, all right, bro, like I'm just leaving now.
yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
And then I have Gaimo at 18. Like I said, I just think his mentality really fucks him over, and I don't think Junsu is like that great of a strategist, so like brings him down. And then Ordo at 19, he has been wrecked, but you got to look at his opponents. Like, man has been pretty impressive. He has like a pretty strong army. He was able to pressure Osen despite, even though he had numbers advantages, he was able to take down the center army. So he has some pretty good feats. He took out like 50k of Osen's men in that war. And then the last one is Earl Shi. Capable tactician who's able to outplay Ohan and Kanjo. He has good leadership. He's a really strong fighter, probably like strong enough to give people like Eiko or Bananji like a decent fight. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
For mine, I have 16 Bananji. Same reason, basically same reason you said. 17 SSJ. He hasn't done much yet, but then I liked how he was able to decipher Shoheiken's whole plan by just seeing like 2 hints, and then him like locating the way the food supply area, and then going there himself and fucking destroying it. Plus, he seems to have like some level of martial might because he legit dove through the Ataman's army and didn't even care about his own. Like he wasn't like scared of it for his life. I don't know.
I would have added him, but he just hasn't shown that much like
Yeah,
like
I
on
understand.
tactics and shit.
I have 18 Gokai. Yeah, I think like he fucked himself over because he wanted to fuck over Duke for what he did in his weakness. But then he what's his name? Gohume was hyping his intelligence, saying, did she say she surpassed him or she will surpass him? I think she said she surpassed him.
He
Oh.
was talking about Rayo, not Goke.
Yeah, but he talked to both of them. He was like, in 1 year I'm gonna surpass you, in the other year, did he already surpass his father?
Those are both directed at Rayo.
Oh, he was like, I'll catch up and I'll surpass you. All right.
Yeah, 1 year I'll catch up, the other year I'll surpass.
But then, as you said, he had like top 50 strategies in 1 second thing. Like on the spot, he thought like, oh, I bet
On the
if
spot,
I really wanted to, like,
I have 60 strategies that I can use to get out of this.
yeah. He went away Fire Dragon, one of the smarter ones. And for 19 at Gaimo, he has like that martial might. I don't know about his leadership because I haven't seen him do any. What's his name? Like morale boosting. But I give him the benefit of the doubt, saying he's a great general. He has a great general weight. He would have some leadership, seeing he's a warrior general himself. And all warrior generals seems to have like good leadership, as like been a trend. And he has that strategist that might make up for some of his deficiencies. And 20, I have Ordo. He has great leadership, like seeing how he fucking got 50 tribes together. He's like very, very good at mountain warfare. I just like him overall. He's his charisma and stuff. I can see why people can follow him due to his charisma. And he also has like, he has good feats, as you said. He took out like the central army of fucking Osen, which is ridiculous. Yes, he's outplayed him because he's better at the mountains. That's about it.
Outplayed him, but then it was all part of Osen's plan.
No, I don't know. That's trash. Ordo, like, I'm gonna outplay you than hide in here. It's just I just don't like Gohume, man. That's why. All right, so we all have our list done and dusted. Anyone have any specific comments overall about their list or someone else's list?
No one shots. Y'all gotta redo y'all list.
Who got one shot on my list? No one got one shot on my list. Yeah.
Gakushin. Gakushin. That's
Oh
one
shit!
shot.
You're right. You got one shot. You're
No
right.
one shot. I'm just saying, like, How can you be in the top 20 generals and you got one-shotted, even if it is by Hoken? The top niggas, the top generals ain't getting one-shotted by Hoken.
And
Because his biggest strength is his strategy. If it was like Riboku or Osen going up against like Mobu or something, it'd probably get one shot too.
but I don't think you ever get to them though. They're too evasive. This guy's shit went for Hoken, saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna fight him." That was his big problem.
It was a reasonable fuck up on Gekishin's part.
Wasn't he? Well, yeah, he was known for his like copying the other dude's strategies, but he boasted about being strong too. Like he boasted about being a fighter. Like
Nah, he is a fighter, but not compared to
one shots, man. No one shots.
Yeah, he was definitely overconfident, but he did like wreck a bunch of Bushins in the past, so it wasn't like unwarranted. He just didn't know there was that one Bushin that
that
was like,
nigga. Yeah,
I mean, I don't think these other Bushins is worth the snuff because wasn't Renko saying not Renko Renbunkin saying the same shit down there in Chu?
I don't know if they're Bushins, but they're mountain tribes. The thing is, like, Gekishin thinks, like, just because he wrecked all those, he thinks, like, Bushins like, in general are pretty trash. Or, like, he's really strong. It was probably the latter. He just got overconfident.
All right.
The thing is, like,
no one.
just him being able to, like, see through Ibuku's strategy and then have him in, like, a tough situation, like, charging at his HU and shit, that was really impressive.
yeah. I liked how he like found out where his HQ is and like
It's for the top 30.
top 30 is fucking hard. I don't want to do a top 30.
Yeah.
I was getting.
I was
like,
struggling after 15.
Yeah, I was getting like I wasn't and I was getting like I ran out of reasons by like fucking 18, 19. I was like, yeah, what he said.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. That was a good
stream. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting talking about the top 20 and like the top 5 through 15 was the most interesting, and fucking DBZ's mobile number 1 was the highlight.
Yeah.
Bro, I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
So,
Obu number 1. I feel you.
Believe
best
it.
general in all of China, son.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. I might do this. I might do another stream if you get like another interesting topic to talk about, or like if more chapters stack up. Subscribe to the people here. I don't think DBZ has a channel, but I linked Jonkin's channel and Twilight's channel in the description. So do follow.
Yeah, go to my channel if you want Overwatch clips.
Oh, you also have a channel?
It's about Fortnite though, so if you go there expecting Kingdom content, you're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, he's like an MLG player for Fortnite. Like he's a beast. And join the Discord as well. Like if you want to like talk about more about like, your list, if you have like a specific list you want to show. Most of the people in the chat right now, if you're watching this post stream, like you're not in the Discord, just join the Discord. It's a community Discord where we talk about a bunch of shit, including lists in the current chapter. And if you like into spoilers, there's a place where we have like multiple sources to give us spoilers and shit. All right, thank you guys. Peace.
No spoilers. Don't tell the people these spoilers. Get out of here.
What do you mean? Spoilers are the shit, bro.
Something, man.
No spoilers. Man.
Nah, it gives you extra days to talk about it, bro. Extra days of Kingdom Greatness. It was mad funny when this fucking spoilers came out. We couldn't believe what we were reading. Like, what?
Hecky greatness! Hecky greatness!
Than your Thomas Commanders are like, it's
Yeah,
how
Hecky greatness, yo.
Like, you're talking about complete dog shit, man.
I'm not gonna lie, when I read the chapter this morning, I got up and started dancing, man.
I knew you were gonna be
It was
hyped.
amazing.
Dude, Draco wanted to do the stream yesterday, and I was like, no, wait one day because I want to see Twalei's reaction to Hecky.
Yeah.
Great.
After it comes out, yeah.
Check out the live reaction. It's already up on the channel, but we got 3
Yeah, I gotta watch
sentences.
that shit.
We got less than 3 sentences and a picture of him holding his glaive.
Oh, that picture was
That picture was
hype.
nice, though. It was nice.
Yo.
Okay. We
That
got
picture was
less
nice.
than 3 sentences and a nice picture of Hecky holding his glaive. And
Yo,
the
that's all we
fact-
need.
And the
That
Hecky
is all we
fanboys is
need,
out
bro.
in
Let's
effect.
go.
Hey, bro, actions speak louder than words.
Yes.
But that's the thing, though. His actions were, I'm going to get half my men killed.
Okay.
I'm gonna get this W. That's what his actions were.
Not if you fall into that trap next chapter.
All right.